Hi friends, Katie from Life Between Words here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if this is your first time. I am here to tell you all about what I plan to read in the month of October. And by October, I mean November. To start off, I did not finish It or Assassin's Quest, my two biggest books in the month of October. So I am going to continue with these. It, I got about 650 pages through, and so I still have halfway to go. If you can believe that. This book is such a monster. I mean that both literally and figuratively, but I don't want to DNF it, partly because I just have a really hard time DNFing books, and partly because I am enjoying it. I'm just so burnt out of this genre right now that it's really hard sometimes for me to pick it up. I also just completely set this down last month because I was so overwhelmed by the other books I was reading. I'm reading this with Julie from A Girl in a Book, and she was okay with setting it down because she had a lot on her plate as well. So we got about 150 pages into the book, and so we still have a long way to go with this, but we are going to dedicate some more time to it this month, hopefully. I'm also halfway through the book Cold Mountain. Sorry, hang on, I was gonna show you this, but it doesn't have the slipcover on it. Here's the slipcover. So Cold Mountain is about Inman and Ada during the Civil War. Inman is a deserter from the Confederate Army trying to make his way home to Ada, his pre-war sweetheart. This book has been compared a little bit to things like The Odyssey or Dante's Inferno, in which the main character is making a journey, and it's about his adventures slash mishaps slash self-discovery along the way. And the same holds true for Ada. It's not a physical journey, but it's a very emotional journey for her, from dependence to independence. This is a reread for me. I read this all the way back in high school, and I loved this book back then. I am really enjoying it still, although I will say that I don't think this book is for everyone. It is a very quiet book. It's very slow-paced. It's very, very character-driven, but the writing is gorgeous, and ultimately, I think that the story that it tells is so worthwhile. I also really want to participate in Nonfiction November. I love nonfiction, but I have not been reading it very much lately, and I want to get back into it. So I have just a couple books picked out because I don't want to overwhelm myself, and I have so many other books that I want to read this month as well. So first I have Between Parent and Child by Haim Ginott. This is a classic parenting book. Probably many of your parents read this book growing up, and maybe even some of your grandparents. Probably actually your grandparents, because I know my grandmother used this book when she was raising her children. It doesn't seem like this is a book that would span generations because parenting styles change so much, but actually the content in this book I find extremely relevant. I'm only on chapter 2, but you know, that's 30 pages into it, and the first chapter felt very relevant, and it was also updated in 2003, I think, revised and updated, so it is current in its philosophy, I think, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm hoping that I get some practical tools out of this book. Parenting's hard, guys. It's really hard, and I feel like I need help, so I'm hoping that this book helps, and I have some other parenting books on my shelf and on my radar that I'm looking forward to getting through, but I need to start here because I feel like this maybe is the foundation for some of the other books that I have in mind. The other nonfiction book that I really, really hope to get to this month is On the Road to Little Dribbling by Bill Bryson. This is a companion slash follow-up to Bill Bryson's book Notes from a Small Island, which he wrote a little over 20 years ago now, maybe more. The Road to Little Dribbling is Bill Bryson's journey across England, again, 20 years after he first made his journey across England, visiting little towns and just talking about the characters that he meets, the funny situations he finds himself in. Bill Bryson himself is an expat from Iowa in the United States to England. He has lived in both places throughout his life, and these books are kind of his love letter to England. This book came out at the end of last year, and I've been dying to read it. I can't believe I haven't picked it up. Bill Bryson is one of my favorite nonfiction writers. He is so hilarious, and his writing is really great too. 2 more, guys, 2 more books, and then I'm done, and you know, who knows whether I'm going to be able to get to all these, but I really want to. First is The Lies of Locke Lamora. This is the first book in Scott Lynch's The Gentleman Bastard series. There's 3 out right now, maybe 4. I know the series is continuing. I don't know if the 4th book has been published yet or not. but this is the first one, The Lies of Locke Lamora. I'm buddy reading this. I am just beyond excited to delve back into some fantasy, apart from Robin Hobb, because she's the only fantasy I've read in quite some time. And I've heard that this is a very dark fantasy series, which I haven't read a lot of really dark fantasy. So I'm anxious to pick this up and see what I think, but I hear nothing but good things. I think it's about some thieves. Am I right about that? Thieves of some sort? Anti-heroes? Not quite completely morally upright main characters, I think. Then finally, a little World War II historical fiction / YA. I want to read Ruta Sepetys' Between Shades of Grey. We'll see if I get to this. I really hope that I do. I am deeply, deeply in the mood for historical fiction. It tells true events, but a fictional story of the work camps in Siberia that people were sent to during World War II by Stalin. I am also like a crazy person. I know I say this every month, but I do feel a little bit crazy because how am I going to get through all of these? I don't know. I've still got half of it and like more than 3/4 of Assassin's Quest, but you know, I'm going to try. I'm also currently listening to an audiobook. It's called Girl Waits with Gun. It's another historical fiction based on the life of Constance Kopp, who was one of the first female sheriffs in the United States. It takes place in New Jersey around the turn of the 20th century, and it is so much fun. I look forward to getting into my car or fixing dinner or whatever and listening to it. So that's all I plan to read in the month of November. And by all, I mean the massive amount of pages I plan to read in the month of November. Who knows whether I'll get through it all. I'm really gonna try. I'm gonna make a very concerted effort, and I think I'll probably be able to get through a little bit more than I did last month because I'm reading more variety, so I feel a little bit more motivated. And with that, I will talk to you all later. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments, so please leave some comments below. And yeah, I hear my son crying. He's taking a nap right now and he hasn't fallen asleep yet, so I'm gonna go see what's going on with him. He's been a little bit sick, poor guy. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.